Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stamina. Welcome to another episode of 905 and 808s. Today, I am excited and I'm very honored to have Olenka back in the building. What's good?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Olenka. Like, how did you get into the music world? Give us a little background.
Yeah, so my mom and dad were in a band together as kids. And so I guess you could say the whole music game just ran in my blood.
Mm.
I saw my mom performing a few times and everything at these little Polish halls. And I don't know, my mom took me to piano lessons as a kid for a little bit. And my teacher wanted me to learn theory. So she's like, okay, with theory, you're going to learn piano and you're going to learn how to sing. So she heard me sing. And the first time she heard me sing, she's like, oh my God, you sound like an angel. And I'm like, thank you. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. I didn't know that I could sing and that I had a voice. So the next week that I went for my piano lessons, I was talking to my mom and my sister. And keep in mind, I'm like super, super young at this point. I'm like 6 or something like that, 5.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and my sister explained to me that singing can be an actual job. And I'm like, you can have a career in that? I was so shocked. And I said to my mom, I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what I want to do when I grow up. So I've held on to that ever since. And after that, I went on to a show called The Next Star. And then they transferred me onto another show called the Next Star SuperGroup. And here we are. Still on the grind. But I moved to Toronto and I'm busting my ass.
Good. And for those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about Next Star, like the show itself?
Yeah, sure. So it's a show. Well, it's canceled now. But it's pretty much like American Idol, but for kids. So there's thousands and thousands of kids across Canada who audition, and only 12 get chosen out of all those kids. Then it eventually becomes a top 6, and then there's a winner. I unfortunately only made it to top 12 though, but then they put me on another show called the Next Star SuperGroup, which was pretty much the same idea, except you're not a solo artist, you're working in groups of people. So five people in your group.
Yeah. Okay,
All
interesting. Yeah. And so that musical theory background, that must have helped you a lot, like in your music process from today, right? Because I saw you have a couple singles that you released in 2019. You got one in 2020 and one 2018. I'm sure you were working on a lot of unreleased projects as well, or yeah.
I honestly, I won't lie to you. I don't know anything about theory, and I'm 100% ashamed about that. It's not that I don't know anything. I do know like the basic stuff, but I didn't continue on with theory. I took piano lessons and theory for like a short amount of time. I don't know why I stopped. Maybe I complained to my mom because my mom listened to me as a kid sometimes. Like if I didn't like something, she'd be like, oh my gosh, okay, then you're not going to do this. I'm not going to push you. So I don't remember much about theory, and it doesn't really, I don't know. Yeah, it didn't really apply.
Yeah, I feel that, music theory is good if you're always a producer or you're a beat maker, but as an artist it's good to have a little bit, but it's not necessary when you have like someone right there that's amazing at it, and you can learn from that and you can use that into your craft.
Yeah, 100%. Like when I work with my producer, After Party, he knows all about theory. He's honestly, if there's any way I can describe him, it's just he's a genius. That's it. He's a magician and a genius. And so I do see him applying a bunch of like theory stuff to our music, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, I don't get it. Yeah, so it's a fun time.
Yeah. No, it helps with the chemistry. Well, it helps with the art too, and then I guess you just perfection it perfectionist, like your idea, or there's certain sound that you want to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah, yeah,
just knows what kind of vibes you want to go for and stuff like that.
yeah. Like I co-produce all of my stuff with my producer, so I pretty much just sit beside him. We have an empty session, and
Mm-hmm.
we like make the beat together. We make the beat, we mix together, do everything, and I'll even sometimes write in the session. Like No Game, that was all created from an empty session, beginning to finish in 3 hours. So he has the knowledge with theory, but I have the knowledge with not knowledge necessarily. I just have the vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is where we're gonna go.
Yeah, that's dope. That's really dope. So how did you two meet? Was it someone like close to your circle, or did you reach out to him?
So we went to college together. I went to
Mm-hmm.
school for music production at Fanshawe, and we met there. He was a year above me, and it's so funny. Like I remember I would run into after party literally because the facilities were open 24/7. So I would take advantage of that, and I'd be at school like all pulling all-nighters and everything. So I would walk into the studio sometimes at like 3-4 a.m. and I see after party sitting in the studios, and he's like, I've been here for like 45 hours. I'm like, oh my God, go home. Because the studio facilities are just so amazing. You just don't want to leave. So I met him through there, and I just saw how amazing he was, and I kept in touch after he graduated. I'm like, listen, we gotta work. And ever since we've been together, it's literally like when we're in a session together, it I don't feel like I'm on Earth. It just feels like magic.
That's dope. That's really cool that you got a connection and someone who has your best interest to produce your stuff, right? It's always good, right? Especially in that industry where there's a lot of people who gives you false promises, or they're only there really for the money. They're not very genuine or authentic with their intentions. So
tell me about it. I've been there.
Yeah.
I've had many experiences in that field. Yeah, I was supposed to shoot a music video called Purple Rose, and we shot it. I hired this guy. You know what? His name was 905 Visuals. He doesn't have Instagram anymore because I came after him. Legally came after him. But so I messaged him, and I'm like, yeah, like your work is dope. Let's work together. I paid him $1,000 plus an additional $1,000 went towards renting equipment for him. So power generator, fog lights, all this equipment. So pretty much that's $2,000. And we shot the whole video. It was amazing. Like we shot it all in one day, but like it was one day towards the morning. So we pulled an all-nighter shooting it. Footage was beautiful. If I could just like show you right now what this small little clip looked like, it was gorgeous. But then he just like left me on red. I was just like, hey, Adam, when are you gonna send me the music video? I don't mean to rush you. I understand, blah, blah, blah. I was being super nice and understanding at first, but eventually it got to the point where I'm like, can you just reply to me? First of all, let me know if you're even alive, like that. It's been like 5 months, are you alive? So I had to take legal action against him, and I got a refund of $1,000, and I got the music video, but the music video was trash.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't use it. And so I'm like, can you just send me the footage and I'll edit it together, or I'll send it to a videographer. I sent it to a videographer, and he's like, this guy shot the music video with the intentions of like just taking your money and leaving. Oh
my God.
Yeah. So when he sent me the little clip, he took all the best parts and just put it in one little jumble, but the rest was horrible.
Wow.
I felt truly scammed.
Yeah. Horror stories.
Yeah, I have so many horror stories. And I'm still underground, let me tell you. Oh my gosh. But everybody has their horror stories, being an artist or just a human in general, people have horror stories. So
very true. Very true. Can't
complain, you just gotta live and learn.
So So what did you learn from that experience? Did you after that, were you like, okay, like I gotta do more like due diligence to these videographers, or did you like, what did you take? What was your next steps after that?
I was really stuck because I was trying to think. I'm just like, what could I have done different?
Mm-hmm.
Then I thought about it. I'm like, contracts. I should have set up a contract stating this is how much I'm going to pay you. This is what you're doing for me. This is the service. And this is when it needs to be finished by. You know? So I feel like if I would have had a contract set in place, it would have scared him off and I wouldn't have run into the situation in the first place. Because if he had the intentions of making a really crappy video,
right,
then he wouldn't have signed a contract and waste his time and just dig himself into a hole.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely get on that contract stuff.
Very important, very important. Yeah, that's music business right there. Contracts, lots of contracts. That reminds me, have you ever bought something exclusive or a license from a producer or beat maker? It could be from the GTA or like overseas, because they usually use contracts as well.
Mm-hmm. No, I have not. I don't want to say I strictly work with After Party, but we just kind of have our stuff figured out, and I only work with people who I trust.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people messaging me saying like, hey, I made this beat, write something on it, record something on it, this, but I feel like, first of all, a lot of the time I want to work with somebody who can make a beat and then also mix my vocals into it, because it's not just like, oh, we have a beat, which means I have to do a chorus here, and then this here, and then this here. It's like very A, B, C, D, E, F, G kind of thing. So, I don't really like doing that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like being on the project from an empty session to the end.
I see. Like start to finish, same person.
Yeah, 100%. Because it sparks like inspiration. Like, if for example, After Party, I say, okay, put in an 808 here, and then it'll spark a different melody to my voice, or like, you know, a different vision for me. But if I already get a pre-made beat, I can't say, oh, take the 808 out here and do this because I want to do this with my voice. I don't have as much freedom.
Right.
Am I okay?
No, that's good. No, I understand. And actually, you could technically, with a pre-made beat, you could, if you know a lot about arrangement and structure, you could actually just go to the studio, and when you're with the mixing engineer, you can tell him like, oh, okay, like remove that, but it's more work at the end of the day, right?
Oh, like they send you the stems?
Yeah, because most of the time they just send stems, right?
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I thought they just gave you the beat flat.
Oh, no. So actually it depends with the license. It's something that not everyone knows, but when you get the basic license, you only get the MP3 or the WAV. So it's something that you can modify, right? You can only record vocals and mix it into it. But if you get the premium or the unlimited lease, they call it, they give you all the stems and you can mix it with your engineer, and then your engineer can master it after. So it gives you more freedom and like the full potential to it.
Oh, that's so interesting. Oh my gosh. Sorry, you might hear some sound. My roommate's listening to something.
No, that's fine.
But that's oh my gosh. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That does seem like a lot of work. I feel like I just want to have all the creative freedom to do everything. You know what I'm saying?
No, it makes it more unique. It just shows your personality more and your brand. So it's totally understandable to like start to finish. And for me, myself as well, I like it better like that. It's more unique and has your true personal touch into it.
Yeah. Plus you can manipulate sounds and things and just like literally make it your own.
Yeah.
That's what music's all about.
I'm
not trying to sound the same as everyone else out here. We're trying to be different.
Yeah, that's right. And so in terms of your music, are you planning to release an album or a compilation of some sort, or do you have some features coming up?
So this is where I'm a little bit stuck
Mm-hmm.
because with this music video that I got scammed for, my plan was to release an EP and
Right.
have a release party for the music video slash the EP, and that main song with the music video would be like the main song on the main track for the EP. And I had the whole plan. I also had like a lot of hype behind me because I was releasing a lot of projects back to back at the time, and I was going on tour and everything. So since that kind of messed a lot of things up for me, I lost my hype. And as much as I'm ashamed to say that, but I did move to Toronto, and I did have to put a few things on hold because, you know, money and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But now I am trying to get back into it, and I'm thinking, like, do I release an EP? Because I know that sometimes if you're not as big as Ariana Grande, people aren't going to listen to all of your tracks. But I
Right.
worked so hard, of course, like everybody else, you work so hard on your music, and you don't want any songs to get lost in the EP or the album. I want people to be able to hear a song and appreciate it. So I'm thinking, do I just release that music video and then release single? So I'm a little bit stuck there right now. But I do have a lot of things that are ready to be released that are so much better than what I have out right now. So much better. Like, you guys will all pee yourselves. You'll be like,
Oh.
what is this?
Hell yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
All right, you definitely gotta let me know when it's out for sure. I'm interested to see.
I mean, you're gonna see it. I'll be hyping that up so much, so good. It's gonna be nice.
See, yeah, you're if you're proud, that's it. If you're sold to your own album and EP, that's it. That's all you gotta do. And now,
yeah, I don't know why people, like, I've talked to people where they're just like, I don't like listening to my own music. I don't, or like, you know, actors who are like, I don't like watching my own movies. I don't understand that, because it's just like, when I make a song, I obsess over it. I listen to my own music, you know, like because if I don't like it, who else is gonna like it?
right.
So when I meet somebody new, they're just like, you make music? I'm like, yeah, you want to hear it? You know, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of it, you know? So, yeah.
No, that's what's up. Like, you gotta have, you have to be sold on your own things, because how are you gonna sell it out to everyone else, right? Because at the end of the day, it's still a business, right?
Yeah, 100%. Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta, as bad as it sounds, you're kind of like, I don't want to say this because I don't want it to come out wrong, but like, you are kind of like a product, or you are a product selling your product, if that makes sense.
Very true. Yeah.
You just gotta kind of roll with it, but make sure you're still true to yourself and you're enjoying what you're selling, because if you're not enjoying it, no one's gonna buy it. No one's gonna want it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And honestly, the second part now is marketing, right? So do you have like a strategy in place? I know you've been talking about dropping a couple singles maybe, and then the music video, but what about your network, or like the circle of people you know?
Yeah, so when I went to school for music production, I networked with a lot of people who are just entering the industry, who are already in the industry. It's all about connections. Anywhere you go in life, you just need to have the right connections. So definitely, when I feel like my first few projects, they weren't good enough to kind of put on blast and contact these people for.
Right.
But my next few, you better know, I'm going to be in their emails. I'm going to be in their DMs. I'm going to be making sure everybody knows about it, right? I just, I want to be putting out my best and reaching out for people and not wasting their time if I don't believe it's worth reaching out for, if that makes sense. So, yeah, definitely reaching out to people, and also reaching out to a lot of blogs
Right.
That's like that's very important. And paying for promotion, marketing is a hard thing, and it's definitely a thing that I think you need a team for as well, just so that you can get
Right.
educated. But I do my best with that stuff, and I feel like I've done an okay job so far. I don't know. I'd say I do okay. So.
And have you been doing all the marketing yourself, or did someone help you out with a couple things in general?
Well, for the most part, yes, I have done marketing myself, but I was I was previously a part of a label, and that was a bad situation, but they did help with some marketing. Oddly enough, I helped them with their marketing because they weren't the best. So that's a whole situation. That's a whole story. But yeah, I was with the label, and we did kind of like feed off of each other's marketing and just stuff in general.
Yeah. If you don't want to share it, no pressure. No, I understand.
I have no problem sharing it. Anything. It's like there's stories on stories on stories. You get me on a topic about this label, I will tell you a story about that topic, you know? So it's really all depending on what you want to hear about it.
Yeah. I mean, so how did you get out of that situation, of a bad situation like that, in that case?
So the thing about the music industry is that it's very sex driven. So the guy who ran this label, he would just awkwardly message me and try to flirt with me, and he made me very uncomfortable. So whenever I would call him out for his stuff, he'd be like, you're just overreacting, you're being crazy, like I'm just doing this for like marketing purposes, and it's just like doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So eventually I just kind of like I ignored those weird texts, and I turned my head and everything. But it just like it started to get worse and worse and worse, and it got to the point where he the first week I moved to Toronto, he sent me a video of myself at an open mic singing, and he sent it to me the next day or the same night saying, "Oh, I didn't know you were going out to sing tonight." And I said, "Where did you get that video?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it, just know I'm always watching you." And I'm like, this, I'm not here for it. Like, okay, you're flirting with me, you're doing this, you're stalking me now. So eventually, like, and then the replies that I sent him and what he sent back was where I said I was done. I'm like, you know what? I'm not turning my head anymore. Like, I am done with you. So I told him that. Thank God, we didn't get to the point where we signed any contracts.
Yeah.
Because I was avoiding it, because I was still making up my mind if he was worth my time. Clearly he wasn't, and he started sending me threats and stuff. It was very, very hard to get rid of him, because if I even showed you a screenshot or even some of the voice messages that he left me, his voicemails, he's threatening me, he's harassing me, he's sending me all these calls. Like, it was not easy to get rid of him, especially since he knew where I lived, and apparently since he's stalking me. So it was a difficult situation, but I contacted one of the girls who excuse me, also previously like quit the label, and I got her advice, and she said, the only thing I can tell you is just run, you know? So I listened to her advice. I blocked him off everything, and as difficult as it was, I eventually got out of it. I should have called the police and got them involved, but it was just so exhausting being new to a city and like all this stuff that I'm dealing with. It was just like the last thing I wanted to do was call the police and just make a deal. So
yeah, because it would have been just a lot more paperwork, trouble, time, energy. So
yeah,
wow, stressful.
It was very stressful, but I did successfully leave him without anything bad happening, which was good.
Yeah, still alive, still smiling,
still alive, but I'm barely breathing. You know what I'm saying? But I did convince one of the girls, like later on, another girl that was on the label, she messaged me. She's just like, what happened between you guys? Because I'm thinking about leaving. And I'm like, all I could say is run. You know? So I gave her the same advice, and she eventually left the label as well. So
Wow.
with the no good female artists.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So wait, so you're saying you are from London originally?
Yeah, I was born and raised in London, Ontario.
And then you moved in Toronto for the music or for school? Actually, for school, right?
No, so I went to Fanshawe in London.
Oh, right. Yeah, Fanshawe's in London. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I moved to Toronto 2 years after graduating for my music. I've always wanted to move to Toronto for my music, but it was just never really the right time. And then I just kind of spontaneously moved one day. So.
Yeah. You're enjoying the city, and I mean, now that we're kind of like quarantined, and I mean, stuff are opening up right now actually, so it's getting better.
I moved like right before the pandemic, and I was having the best time of my life. I was going out, meeting people. It's exactly what I wanted. I was working, and I was going to work like off of 2 hours of sleep sometimes, because I was just out meeting people, going to events and networking and just having fun and just exploring Toronto. And unfortunately then the pandemic happened, and I'm like, this happened way too fast. Like, no. Oh my god, I was so upset. But I am doing things now a lot. Like I told you before, my agenda is so booked and full with just things that I'm doing with friends, with people, with exploring, and with music as well. Yeah.
And also, I've seen you've been really active into the Black Lives Matter movement as well in Toronto, like supporting the movement and being in the protest, like being on the streets and like just expressing your love. Really, it's pretty cool.
If I have a platform to help people, I have a small platform. I have like just under 7K on Instagram, but if there's any way I can make a difference, I will absolutely step forward. And I won't lie to you, like, of course, like I'm white, I'm privileged and everything, and I knew that all of this stuff was happening, but I won't lie to you, I did not know that it was this bad. So I'm educating myself, I'm learning more about this while also trying to educate other people, because if I didn't know about this, there's so many other people that just
for sure, yeah,
you know. So I'm always gonna do my best to stand and support for anything that has to do with, you know, anything like this. We're just like peace, freaking humanity. Just be human. Like, we should all just love each other. I believe that we're all on this earth just to love, and the fact that people are being racist and just it breaks my heart. I don't even know what to say. Like, I have no words, because I'm shocked that this is even a thing. I'm shocked that it's even a discussion. You know, I'm shocked that we have to have protests for this stuff, and that riots were happening. It's ridiculous that people have to go to this length just to have a voice. So yeah, it breaks my heart, but I'll always stand for it.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's an issue that's been there for, you know, centuries, cultures. It's from history, literally.
Yeah.
So long ago, and it's still there, which is crazy.
I know.
Just tells you how much power and how much it was ingrained into those roots, right? Insane, but
yeah, I just thought that, of course, stupid me, I just thought that people kind of, I don't want to say people got over, because that's never something you should forget, but I just thought that people would kind of forget about racism. Not necessarily forget about racism, but just realize that that's not a thing that should happen anymore. Like, fucking grow up and let's all just love each other, because we're equals. We should be equals, at least, you know? So
I feel because there's just so many things in the world. In general, we're not as conscious, and especially in Canada. That's the thing, right? In Toronto, it's such a multicultural city. So, like myself, as being, a black man, I'm not gonna feel that racism as much because of the diversity in the culture. But let's say if I go like down south, Kentucky, I'm not gonna name any states, but in general, like where there's less culture, there's gonna be more ignorance in general.
Yeah.
Maybe less education. So, like.
It's sad, but I think as unfortunate as these circumstances are, it's good. It's a good thing to educate people. It's sad that it's had to go to these lengths, but I mean, Minneapolis, they don't even have a police force right now.
Oh, I know. That's crazy.
So crazy.
Yeah.
But that's because things need to, there needs to be a change. So, and I saw this video of these guys on the police force admitting that, yeah, they are told to target Black people.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
awful.
things like that need to be revealed. And if you have a voice, then use it.
Yeah.
Don't just stand there and let it happen. So that's what I've been trying to do.
That's good. Honestly, proud of you. Keep having that same energy. It's really important. We need more people like that, honestly, just to take action and to stand up for the good things, the good fight in that way.
But it's so beautiful seeing people come together,
right,
of all ages and races. It's just like being at the protest, like I was like looking around, like, oh my gosh, there's so many different people here, but we're all standing for one purpose. So it was, again, as unfortunate as it is, it was kind of beautiful. See people coming together.
Yeah. That's good. Question for you, because I was curious to know how, in terms of like your relationships and connections in the music industry, I'm kind of curious how did you meet Carter Wolf?
Yeah. So he was a judge on the Next Star. Guest judge. No, on the Next Star SuperGroup. My apologies. And after that, I don't know really how, but like I followed him on Instagram and he followed me back. He followed back a lot of the contestants. And I kept in touch. If I meet somebody, I'm gonna be like, I want to be your friend. If I know that you're someone that I'm gonna, the music industry. And Carl is such a nice guy. Probably one of the nicest, most giving people I've ever met. So he was absolutely open to keeping in touch, and it's been years. I think it's been like 5-6 years since that show, and we're still friends till this day, because anybody that I meet who knows Carl has only good things to say about him, because he's just that kind of person. So he was absolutely open to staying in touch with me, and till this day, like, I can call him whenever I'm having a problem. Like when I had a problem with the whole label thing, I gave him a call and he was giving me advice. So yeah, that's good. If you literally DM Carl right now, he will probably reply. Well, I mean, not necessarily like that, like a random person. But if you met Carl like at an event or something and you spoke to him, like you'd understand. He's just a genuine nice person.
That's really cool. Yeah.
He's not one of those people. I'm so used to meeting people in the industry that are big shot and oh, you did something, congratulations, and it's just like, now you're a dick. Okay, cool. But
yeah.
Not like that at all.
Yeah, you can tell who's a real boss in that sense. I'm not sure if you know the real definition of a real boss, but it's someone who gives to his team and eats last. He just wants people around him to succeed, be successful and give like value to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the definition of one right there. I could say that right now. But yeah, it's dope. That's really cool.
Carl's a real boss.
Hell yeah.
Period.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Cool.
Uh-huh.
The new every day. Look at that.
Yeah. Hey, you come to this show, you learn something, and you give it. I learned something from you as well, so it's cool.
Oh, we're giving out education.
Put me on the teacher spot right now.
Right? Yes. Give me a mic, a pen, work. Let's work on this.
Skip all the PhD. Just put me at university. I'll give you speeches for you guys. You know, sign me up. I'm right here, man.
Period.
Yeah. But yeah, besides that, do you have any like shout outs or anything else that you wanted to say before we end this?
Oh God. I feel like this is my Grammy. I'd love to thank no, I'm playing. No, I think I mean, shout out to Carl. Shout out to After Party for, you know, making freaking magic with me. And my mom for always supporting me. My mom, you know, most parents, they're not used to they're not ready for their kids to kind of just go outside the box and be like, I want to be a comedian or I want to be a freaking actor or something like that. But my mom was 100% there for me. She had my back. So thank you, Mom.
That's good. It's good to have like that strong support, especially from your family, because family, it's just, wow. Like if you have that bond and she supports like truly your dreams and your intentions, it goes a long way for sure.
I'm so thankful for my mom. She's an absolute angel.
Shout out to all the moms out there, you know.
Shout out to all the moms. And all the good dads too.
Hell yeah, yes, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But hey guys, there you have it. Olenka back. Lovely personality. She told us some really cool, interesting stories. And honestly, I'm really honored and very excited to have her on here.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all your time.
Again, I am your host, Stamina. Thank you for checking 905 and 808s. I'll link all the link below. Please give her a follow. Stay in touch. We will give her a little bit more of the upcoming release. She's coming through. And that's it. Subscribe to the channel. Spread some love. That's it. Let's get it.
Bye, guys.
I'm not perfect. Is it worth it, babe? Too much pressure, but I love the pain. Oh, many days passed, not thinking straight.